I am Jarvis, your storyteller. Welcome to the Science Fiction Exploration. If you like the story, please subscribe to our channel. Deep within the Kuiper Belt Observatory, Dr. Marcus Rivera stared at his quantum detection array's readout with growing concern. The signal was unlike anything he'd encountered in his 15 years of deep space monitoring. It wasn't random cosmic noise or the usual chatter of distant stars. This was structured, deliberate, and heading straight for Earth. "Director Patel, you need to see this," Marcus called out, his voice steady despite the gravity of his discovery. The observatory's director, Amara Patel, moved swiftly across the control room, her decades of experience evident in her measured response. The massive screens displayed a cascade of data streams, all pointing to an unprecedented astronomical event. What appeared to be a fleet of vessels, larger than anything humanity had ever constructed, was moving through the outer reaches of the solar system. "How many?" Amara asked, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "Initial counts suggest over 3,000 ships, Director. They're using some form of advanced propulsion we've never seen before." Marcus pulled up the energy signature analyses. "They're not even trying to hide their approach." In the adjacent quantum computing chamber, Dr. Jun Wang's voice crackled over the intercom. "The AI analysis is complete. These aren't explorers or traders. The formation matches known military patterns. We're looking at an invasion fleet." The revelation sent a chill through the room, but not panic. This moment had been anticipated for decades. Humanity had learned from its history. The best defense was the one your enemy never saw coming. Director Patel activated the secure quantum channel to Earth Defense Command. "General Martinez, Protocol Omega is now active. The Zenith Empire has made their move." Across the globe, hidden facilities hummed to life. In underground bunkers and orbital stations, systems that had remained dormant for years began their activation sequences. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, developing technologies that pushed the boundaries of physics itself. Commander Diana Chen stood on the bridge of the orbital defense platform Hyperion, watching as her crew executed their roles with precision. The platform, invisible to conventional detection methods, was one of hundreds strategically positioned throughout the solar system. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of authority earned through years of service. Lieutenant James O'Neill responded without hesitation. "Quantum grid is online, Commander. All nodes are synchronized and ready. The enemy fleet has no idea what they're walking into." The Zenith Empire, notorious for their brutal efficiency in conquering worlds, had chosen Earth as their next target. Their intelligence suggested a primitive civilization, barely capable of interplanetary travel. They expected to find a vulnerable planet, ripe for conquest. What they didn't know was that Earth's apparent technological limitations were a carefully crafted illusion. While the rest of the galaxy saw a species taking its first steps into space, humanity had been quietly revolutionizing the fundamental laws of physics. In the heart of the Sahara, Dr. Kamal Hassan monitored the quantum entanglement network that connected Earth's defense systems. His team had spent years perfecting technology that could manipulate the fabric of space-time itself. "All quantum nodes are reporting green status," he announced to the global command network. "We can deploy the grid at any time." The Zenith fleet continued its approach, unaware that they were about to encounter a civilization far more advanced than they had imagined. Earth's apparent vulnerability was its greatest weapon, a deception that had taken generations to perfect. General Sofia Martinez stood in the Global Defense Command Center, surrounded by holographic displays showing the approaching fleet. "Send the message," she ordered. "Let's give them one chance to turn back." A simple transmission was broadcast toward the incoming armada. "To the approaching Zenith fleet, this is your only warning. Earth is not what you think it is. Retreat now or face the consequences of your aggression." The response came swiftly, carried on waves of arrogant certainty. The Zenith commander's message was brief. "Primitive species do not command the Zenith Empire. Prepare for annexation." General Martinez allowed herself a small smile. "Very well," she said quietly. "Activate the quantum defense grid. Let's show them exactly what this primitive species can do." As the orders spread through Earth's hidden defense network, humanity prepared to reveal its true technological capabilities. The Zenith Empire was about to learn why appearances could be deceiving and why Earth had remained untouched for so long. The game of deception was over. Now it was time for humanity to show its hand. The Zenith fleet's advance continued unchecked through the solar system, their massive ships casting long shadows across the void. In Earth's Defense Command Center, General Martinez watched the holographic display with calculated patience. Each passing moment brought the invaders closer to humanity's carefully laid trap. Commander Diana Chen's voice echoed through the quantum comm network. "Zenith Fleet has passed Neptune's orbit. Their formation suggests they're preparing for a standard conquest pattern. Multiple carriers detected launching scout vessels." Lieutenant O'Neill's fingers danced across his console, tracking each enemy movement. "They're maintaining their arrogant approach, Commander. No defensive screens, no evasive patterns. They still think we're helpless." Throughout the solar system, Earth's hidden defenses remained invisible to the approaching armada. The quantum grid, a network of interconnected spatial distortion points, stood ready to activate at a moment's notice. Dr. Kamil Hassan monitored the system's core functions from his underground facility. "Quantum harmonics are stable," he reported. "The grid can be activated within microseconds of your command, General." The Zenith scout ships moved ahead of their main fleet, their sensors probing for any sign of resistance. They found exactly what Earth wanted them to see: a handful of primitive satellites, basic space stations, and minimal defensive capabilities. High above Earth's atmosphere, Commander Chen watched the enemy scouts through advanced quantum imaging systems. "They're scanning our decoy installations, General, taking the bait completely." In the Kuiper Belt Observatory, Dr. Marcus Rivera continued monitoring the enemy fleet's communications. "They're transmitting back to their command ships. The arrogance in their messages is almost amusing. They're calling this a routine acquisition of primitive resources." The Zenith Empire's main fleet drew closer, their massive warships arranged in an attack formation designed to overwhelm conventional planetary defenses. Their commander, Supreme Admiral Vexter, transmitted another message to Earth. "Your planet's resources now belong to the Zenith Empire. Surrender now, and your species will be permitted to serve as labor-class citizens. Resist and face extinction." General Martinez allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction before responding. "Dr. Hassan, initiate Phase 1 of the Quantum Defense Protocol." Across the solar system, invisible quantum nodes activated in perfect synchronization. The fabric of spacetime itself began to shift and twist according to humanity's carefully orchestrated plan. The Zenith fleet's sensors detected nothing, their technology incapable of perceiving the fundamental changes occurring around them. Lieutenant O'Neill's voice carried a note of controlled excitement. "First wave of scout ships has entered the outer defense perimeter. Quantum entanglement field is holding steady." Commander Chen watched as the scout ships unknowingly crossed the threshold. "Initiating localized spacetime manipulation. Standing by for your order, General." In the Sahara facility, Dr. Hassan's team monitored the quantum field's stability. "Grid harmonics at optimal levels. We can proceed with the demonstration." General Martinez nodded slowly. "Execute Phase 2. Let's show them what happens when they threaten Earth." The response was immediate and devastating. The scout ships, suddenly finding themselves in a pocket of altered spacetime, froze in place. Their engines, weapons, and communication systems continued to function, but they could no longer move forward or backward. Panic spread through the Zenith fleet as their scout ships reported their situation. Supreme Admiral Vexter demanded explanations from his science officers, but they had none to give. Nothing in their vast experience could explain how a primitive species had achieved such control over space itself. Commander Chen's voice carried a hint of satisfaction. "Scout ships successfully contained, General. Their main fleet has halted its advance. They're attempting to analyze what happened." Send them our response, General Martinez ordered. Let's make our position absolutely clear. A new transmission was directed at the Zenith fleet, this time carrying more than just words. Embedded in the signal was a demonstration of Earth's true technological capabilities, detailed scans of every ship in their fleet, complete technical specifications of their weapons, and the personal histories of their command staff. The message was simple. This is your final warning. We have contained your scout ships as a demonstration. We can do the same to your entire fleet. Withdraw now, or we will be forced to take more decisive action. In the command center of the Zenith flagship, Supreme Admiral Vexter faced a decision unlike any in his long career. The supposedly primitive planet had just demonstrated technology that shouldn't exist, power that his empire had never encountered. As the Zenith leadership contemplated their response, Earth's defense forces remained ready. The quantum grid hummed silently in the void, capable of transforming the entire solar system into a trap from which there would be no escape. The game had changed. Now it was the Zenith Empire's turn to decide whether they would accept the new reality or learn firsthand why Earth had remained unconquered for so long. Supreme Admiral Vexter paced the command deck of his flagship, his crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the red emergency lights that pulsed throughout the bridge. The situation defied everything he knew about warfare and galactic dominance. His scout ships remained frozen in space, caught in some incomprehensible distortion that his best scientists couldn't explain. "Status report," he demanded, his voice carrying the edge of barely contained fury. Chief Science Officer Myrax approached cautiously. "Admiral, our analysis confirms the impossible. The humans aren't just manipulating space. They're rewriting its fundamental properties. The technology required for such control should be beyond any civilization's reach." In Earth's Defense Command Center, General Martinez watched the Zenith fleet's confusion with tactical satisfaction. "Dr. Hassan, what's the status of our quantum grid?" "Grid stability at 100%, Dr. Hassan replied through the quantum link. "We can expand the effect to encompass their entire fleet at your command. Though," he added with professional curiosity, "I'd like to see how they respond to our demonstration first." Commander Chen's voice cut through the command channel. "Movement detected in the main fleet. They're powering up their primary weapons systems. Looks like they're planning to test our defenses." The Zenith fleet's massive warships began to shift formation, their weapon ports glowing with gathered energy. Supreme Admiral Vexter had chosen defiance over caution. "If these primitives think their spatial tricks will save them, they're mistaken," Vexter announced to his command staff. "Launch a full barrage. Let's see how their defenses handle the combined firepower of 1,000 warships." Lieutenant O'Neill's sensors registered the power buildup. "Enemy fleet charging weapons, multiple targeting solutions detected. They're going to try to overwhelm us with sheer firepower." General Martinez remained calm. "Dr. Hassan, initiate countermeasures. Commander Chen, prepare for Phase 3. The Zenith fleet unleashed their attack, thousands of energy beams and plasma torpedoes streaking toward Earth. It was enough firepower to crack a planet's crust, a display of force meant to shatter any defense. But the weapons never reached their target. As the barrage entered the quantum defense grid's range, strange things began to happen. Energy beams curved impossibly, following paths that defied physics. Plasma torpedoes scattered into harmless particles. Some weapons simply vanished, their energy absorbed and redirected by the invisible network that humanity had woven through space itself. In the Sahara facility, Dr. Hassan monitored the grid's performance. Energy absorption and redirection functioning perfectly. The grid is actually growing stronger from their attack, just as we designed it. Commander Chen watched from the Hyperion as the Zenith fleet's mighty assault dissipated into nothing. No damage to any Earth installations. Their entire barrage was neutralized. "Send them our response," General Martinez ordered, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's next move. Across the void, the Zenith fleet's command systems suddenly activated without their input. Holographic displays sparked to life, showing detailed schematics of their own ships, including weaknesses their own engineers hadn't discovered. Dr. Marcus Rivera's voice came through from the Kuiper Belt Observatory. Their communication networks are in chaos. They can't understand how we've penetrated their most secure systems. Supreme Admiral Vexter stared at the displays in disbelief. These humans hadn't just stopped their attack. They had turned the Zenith Empire's own technology against them. Every secret, every weakness, every flaw in their mighty fleet lay exposed. "Admiral," Myrax whispered, "they could have destroyed us at any time. They're not just defending, they're teaching us a lesson." A new transmission reached the Zenith fleet, carrying images that shook their confidence to the core. Views of Earth's true defensive capabilities, quantum manipulation engines, space-time distortion fields, and technologies that the Zenith Empire's finest minds couldn't begin to comprehend. "Perhaps," the message read, "it's time to reevaluate your definition of primitive." In the tense silence that followed, Supreme Admiral Vexter faced the most difficult decision of his career. His empire had never retreated, never acknowledged defeat, but they had also never encountered anything like this. The quantum grid hummed silently in the void, ready to unleash its full potential. Earth's defense forces waited patiently, knowing they held not just the tactical advantage, but a complete mastery of the battlefield itself. As the Zenith fleet hung motionless in space, the truth became undeniable. They weren't facing a primitive civilization. They had stumbled into a trap set by a species that had transcended conventional warfare, and now they had to decide how to handle that revelation. The silence in space carried weight. Supreme Admiral Vexter stood before his command staff, their proud empires might rendered impotent by human ingenuity. The frozen scout ships hung as a testament to their miscalculation, while their fleet's failed assault had only served to demonstrate the depth of their ignorance. "Show me everything," Vexter commanded his science team. "I want to understand exactly what we're facing." Chief Science Officer Myrax brought up a holographic display of the quantum defense grid, pieced together from their limited understanding. "The humans have created something unprecedented, Admiral. They're not just controlling space, they're programming it. Each point in their defense network acts like a quantum computer, capable of rewriting the laws of physics within its sphere of influence." In Earth's Defense Command Center, Dr. Hassan's team monitored the Zenith fleet's attempts to analyze their technology. "They're starting to grasp the basics," he reported to General Martinez, "though they're still far from understanding the full scope of our capabilities." Commander Chen's voice carried from the Hyperion station. "General, we're detecting power fluctuations throughout their fleet. They appear to be powering down their weapon systems." "They're learning," General Martinez observed. "Now let's see if they're wise enough to take the next step." Lieutenant O'Neill's sensors picked up new activity. Multiple communication channels detected within their fleet. They're having quite the debate up there. On the Zenith flagship, Supreme Admiral Vexter faced the greatest challenge to his species' supremacy. The Empire had conquered countless worlds, but never had they encountered a civilization that so completely outmatched their technological understanding. "Admiral," Myrax ventured carefully, "the humans could have destroyed us the moment we entered their system. Instead, they chose to demonstrate their power without causing casualties. I believe they're sending us a message beyond mere military superiority." Dr. Marcus Rivera's voice cut through the command channel from the Kuiper Belt Observatory. "General, we're detecting significant changes in their communication patterns. The aggressive rhetoric is being replaced by something else: curiosity." General Martinez nodded. "Good. Dr. Hassan, prepare to initiate the final phase of our demonstration. Commander Chen, stand by to release the scout ships." The quantum grid pulsed with new energy, but this time it didn't bring destruction or containment. Instead, it projected a series of complex mathematical equations and scientific theorems directly into the Zenith fleet's computer systems. Each formula represented a fundamental breakthrough in physics, a glimpse into the understanding that had allowed humanity to achieve such mastery over space-time. "What is this?" Vexter demanded, staring at the stream of information flooding their screens. Myrax's crystalline features shifted in what passed for awe among his species. "They're teaching us, Admiral. These equations, they're showing us the basic principles behind their technology. Not enough to replicate it, but enough to understand that we've been thinking about the universe all wrong." In the Sahara facility, Dr. Hassan monitored the data transfer. "They're processing the information, General. Their scientific databases are lighting up with activity." Commander Chen watched from her station as the Zenith fleet's posture changed, weapons systems powering down, defensive screens shifting to passive mode. "They're standing down, General. I think they finally got the message." A new transmission reached Earth's command center, its tone markedly different from the previous threats of conquest. Supreme Admiral Vexter's voice carried something the Empire had never before expressed respect. "People of Earth," he began, "we have witnessed power beyond our understanding, wielded with restraint we did not expect. The Zenith Empire acknowledges your superiority, not just in might but in wisdom. We request dialogue." General Martinez allowed herself a small smile. "Release their scout ships, Commander Chen. Dr. Hassan begin powering down the grid but maintain readiness status." The frozen scout ships suddenly found themselves free, their crews unharmed but forever changed by the experience. As they returned to their fleet, the message Earth had crafted so carefully was finally complete. Humanity had demonstrated not just technological superiority, but a different way of thinking about power itself. They had defeated an empire not through destruction, but through understanding. The quantum grid had been more than a weapon, it was a teaching tool, a demonstration that true advancement came from wisdom as much as strength. As the Zenith fleet regrouped, their weapons silent and their pride humbled, Earth prepared for something unprecedented. Peaceful first contact with a species that had arrived as conquerors but would leave as students of a greater truth. 3 days after the confrontation that changed galactic history, the Grand Meeting Chamber of the Global Defense Command hosted an unprecedented gathering. Supreme Admiral Vexter, along with his chief advisors, stood face to face with Earth's leadership. The crystalline beings that had arrived as conquerors now stepped forward as diplomatic envoys. General Martinez studied their visitors with measured interest. The Zenith Empire's representatives had abandoned their combat armor for formal diplomatic attire, their translucent forms catching the light in complex patterns. "Your demonstration has forced us to reconsider many things," Vexter addressed the assembled human leaders. "In all our centuries of expansion, we never imagined we would encounter a species that had progressed so far beyond conventional understanding." Dr. Hassan, present for the historic meeting, pulled up a holographic display of the quantum grid's basic principles. "What you witnessed was the culmination of generations of human scientific development. We realized early that traditional space warfare was a dead end. True power lies in understanding the fabric of reality itself." Chief Science Officer Myrax moved closer to the display, his crystalline form vibrating with barely contained excitement. "Your approach to quantum manipulation is revolutionary. You didn't just advance technology, you completely reimagined its possibilities." Commander Chen, watching from her position near the chamber's entrance, noted how different the Zenith leaders looked when driven by curiosity rather than conquest. "Perhaps," she suggested, "this is an opportunity for both our species to advance." The quantum communications array hummed to life as Dr. Marcus Rivera transmitted new data from the Kuiper Belt Observatory. "We're detecting significant changes in Zenith fleet communications throughout the galaxy. Word of our encounter is spreading. Other worlds are listening." Lieutenant O'Neill, monitoring the galactic channels, confirmed the observation. "The impact is bigger than just our solar system. The Zenith Empire's client worlds are buzzing with the news. The balance of power is shifting." Vexter turned to address General Martinez directly. "The Zenith Empire has always valued strength, but you have shown us a different kind of power. We propose an exchange, not of weapons or territory, but of knowledge." In the days that followed, The solar system transformed from a potential battleground into a center of scientific and cultural exchange. The Zenith fleet, once poised for conquest, now orbited Earth peacefully as their crews engaged in the first steps of cooperation. Dr. Hassan's team began working with Zenith scientists, sharing carefully selected insights into quantum mechanics that would help guide their development in a more peaceful direction. "They're quick learners," he reported to General Martinez. "Their understanding of spatial mechanics, combined with our quantum principles, could open new frontiers." Commander Chen observed the changes from the Hyperion station. Zenith ships now moved through space alongside human vessels, their crews learning to see the cosmos through new eyes. "They're not just accepting our superiority," she noted. "They're embracing the opportunity to evolve." The impact rippled through the galaxy. Other civilizations, hearing of how Earth had peacefully deterred the mighty Zenith Empire, began reaching out. The quantum communication network buzzed with signals from distant worlds, each seeking to understand the species that had changed the rules of galactic interaction. In the Sahara facility, Dr. Hassan and Myrax collaborated on a new project, a galactic database that would help guide developing civilizations toward enlightened advancement rather than militant expansion. "The quantum grid was just the beginning," Hassan explained. "True progress comes from sharing understanding, not hoarding power." 1 month after the failed invasion, Supreme Admiral Vexter stood before the combined Council of Earth and Zenith leadership. "Our empire was built on the principle that strength determines destiny," he declared. "Earth has shown us that true strength lies in the wisdom to use power not for conquest, but for advancement." General Martinez rose to address the council. "Today marks the beginning of a new era. Earth stands ready to share our knowledge with those who seek to learn, to help guide the galaxy toward a future built on understanding rather than domination." As the council session concluded, Dr. Marcus Rivera's sensors detected something remarkable. Other civilizations were already beginning to experiment with quantum principles, guided by the example Earth had set. The galaxy was changing, one peaceful interaction at a time. The message that had started as a warning to invaders had become something more, a beacon of hope for a new way of existing among the stars. Humanity had not just defended Earth. They had launched a quiet revolution in how civilizations might interact, proving that the greatest power lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to transform enemies into allies. And in the vast quantum network that now stretched between the stars, countless worlds watched and learned as a new age of galactic civilization dawned.